This is a bonus episode of History as It Happens. It's February 20th, 2026. By the time you listen to this podcast, the U.S. may be at war again in the Middle East, without a voting Congress or any public debate. War with an old enemy.
The government of Iran must recognize the gravity of the situation which it has itself created.
The charge has been made that the United States has shipped weapons to Iran as ransom payment for the release of American hostages in Lebanon. Those charges are utterly false. We did not, repeat, did not trade weapons or anything else for hostages, nor will we.
The Iran and Libya sanctions bill I signed today will help to deny those countries the money they need to finance international terrorism.
Iran aggressively pursues these weapons and exports terror, while an unelected few repress the Iranian people's hope for freedom.
Iran can become a constructive actor in the region if it stops threatening its neighbors and supporting terrorism.
Today, the United States, together with our allies and partners, has reached a historic understanding with Iran, which, if fully implemented, will prevent it from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Since 1979, some Americans have been itching to reverse the Iranian Revolution and topple the Islamic Republic. They apparently have the ear of President Trump, who may have campaigned as a peacemaker, but is on the brink of ordering his 7th military attack in another country in the past year, his 2nd on Iran, according to the New York Times.
And last summer, I ordered devastating strikes on Iran's key nuclear facilities and something that was called Operation Midnight Hammer. That's exactly what it was.
It is the age of Trump. It is also the age of the imperial presidency, an anti-democratic, dangerous development that continues to sink the United States into one unnecessary war after another. So how did we get here? Justin Logan is the Director of Defense and Foreign Policy Studies at the Cato Institute. He's an expert on U.S. grand strategy, international relations theory, and American foreign policy. Among the areas he focuses on is the limited relevance of the Middle East to U.S. national security. Justin Logan, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Your very first time. It's great to have you here. So I'm going to greet you rather rudely with a pop quiz of only one question. Which major American statesman said the following? The Iranian Revolution is a fact of history, but between American and Iranian basic national interests, there need be no permanent conflict.
That's a good one. I'm going to say it was a Republican, maybe Bush the Elder?
No, a little bit earlier.
Reagan.
The Iranian Revolution is a fact of history.
There he is.
But between American and Iranian basic national interests, there need be no permanent conflict.
All right, November 1986. The context is key, of course. Reagan went on television to deny that his administration was selling weapons, missiles, tow missiles, through Israel to Iran. So Iran would then, supposed moderates in Iran would influence the people who are kidnapping Americans in Lebanon and elsewhere and exchange the weapons for the hostages.
Yes.
So we don't have to get into the history of the Iran-Contra scandal here. But the point is, Justin, even though the U.S. and Iran have had no formal diplomatic relations since 1979, Reagan, Obama tried to connect to the Iranian government as well. He actually succeeded with the nuclear deal. Even after 9/11, the Bush administration quietly met with Iran. They discussed matters such as preventing the Taliban from escaping west into Iran. So diplomacy, again, here is really the only sane course of action. How do you assess the Trump administration's diplomacy, such as it is, as it threatens another war?
Well, it's very difficult to figure out what they're doing because they haven't explained what they're doing. They've said that they want a deal. They've said there's a big or else hanging out there if Iran doesn't get a deal. And they've shoved a bunch of materiel into the Persian Gulf. The strike package that is in place could wreak a lot of madness and mayhem inside of Iran. And it's normal for administrations to run over the Congress and even to sort of sidestep the media. But to not make a case for what is by all lights looks to be a quite substantial, large-scale military undertaking is striking even for a hardened cynic like me. So Carolyn Levitt said a couple of days ago, there are many cases one could make about why you might attack Iran, but it's sort of incumbent on the sitting government to do so, which they have not done as yet.
Carolyn Levitt, the White House spokesperson. So Here we are again, a potential regime change war. I mean, who knows? It doesn't look like a land invasion is going to happen right off the bat, but still, I mean, I thought we were supposed to have learned our lesson by now. I do want to talk about bigger picture history, patterns, the imperial presidency, but just one more about what's happening today. No congressional debate, no public debate. I mean, there has been really no explanation at all as to why the U.S. is on the brink of war with Iran again after, quote unquote, obliterating the nuclear program last June.
No, I think that's quite right. And, I mean, this is one thing that Trump is excellent at doing, whether you love him or hate him or you're somewhere in between, is bringing into stark relief just how irrelevant the Congress is in so many different contexts, this being one of them. I mean, we're having discussions both on the House side and on the Senate side about war powers bills that could potentially be debated after the president takes military action. So we're really in a sort of...
To listen to the full 28-minute episode, tap subscribe now in the show notes or go to historyasithappens.com and become a subscriber today. Supercast will guide you through the process. It's easy. You'll continue to listen to the podcast in the same place you're listening to it right now. Ad-free listening, bonus content, and access to the entire back catalog of more than 500 episodes. historyasithappens.com.